Ever wonder what makes the greats great? What makes the successful successful? What makes the brilliant brilliant? Our Tuesday meetups with the celebrities of pharma industry and science are your one-stop shop to all these answers and more. Join us for Pies of Life, an initiative of the Biopatrika Industry Mentorship Program, where we bring your dream mentors to you.
Welcome everyone to our Pies of Life. This Tuesday, we have with us a dynamic personality and a young entrepreneur, Harit Mohan. Harit is a founder and CEO of Signicent LLP in India and Signicent LLC in Delaware, US. He has spent more than a decade solving problems and overcoming hurdles faced by technology and research organizations. With his company, he has been a technology and IPR consultant for more than 450 businesses globally spread across 15 countries. A TEDx speaker, technology and IP expert, startup mentor, and an avid traveler. Please welcome Mr. Harit Mohan. So, Harit, we would like to hear your journey in your words.
Thank you so much, Vikram, for that quick introduction. So, hi everyone, my name is Harit, and I start with a due apology due to my background. So I'm sitting in a car right now, and I was just sharing with the other colleagues that we are inaugurating a new office soon, and we are on a tight deadline for that. So I was, kind of, shoplifting few things, uh, and I thought I'll get some good discounts on the way, but probably it isn't gonna work that way. Anyhow, so my story is, I'll keep it short, and as I said, I'll uh, try and stick to the time limits allocated. In 2012, this is how it started. So I after graduating from Ambala, I think we have one of our very good junior with us, and I went to IIT for my post graduation. Now it's everybody's dream when you go out to IITs is to get a good job and kind of look at it that you would be getting a handsome salary and so on. So I was kind of living the same life, and what happened was that I in 2008, when I was about to pass out, I got a good job. This was roughly what 14 years ago, and I was very excited. And if there are any researchers, especially biotech people, you know how difficult it is to get the thesis completed on time. And this is what I also try to did. I tried to do. I completed my thesis, went for my job, and so on. Now there was all excitement that this is your first job out of the campus. It was nicely paid job in Mumbai. Good beach view and all with the office. And this was October, November, 2008. Now many of you would remember that was the time of the Great Recession, and companies ran out of business. So does my company as well. So 2008, near Diwali time, we were preparing that our 1 month internship period was getting over, and right there, what happened was this layoff happened, and 14, 15 of us from all the different IITs were laid off on the same day. So we just had our lunch, and the HR called us, and she said that guys, we need to let you go because we don't have any projects and all, and that's it. And for the next 10 minutes down the line, we were out of the office building. Now how however funny I make this now, but of course it was painful. So what happened was that evening, all of us decided to kind of remorse in a better way. We thought probably let's go out and do some party today. We have been laid off, and I got a call from Economic Times the first day. So that was the first time I got interviewed in in print media, and for a different reason. And by that time, entrepreneurship was, by the way, still not in my mind. I still had a mindset of working 9 to 7, 9 to 6, 10 to 8 kind of work for the MNC, and have a decent salary, buy maybe a Tata Safari. That was the dream car that I wanted to buy at that time. and be happy with my life. So what happened was that when this first layoff happened, I quickly started looking for my second job. So if somebody's thinking that probably that triggered my entrepreneurship zeal, no. So I started looking for a second job, and with the second job that I started, it was night shifts. And I started using, calling people in night shifts for another company. My salary was cut to half. So if I remember correctly, my compensation was about 50K per month way back 14 years ago, and I was remaining at about 20-25K, and it was a night shift. Now, as being a tech guy, you would think that you're a technology person. Why would you like to do sales job? Even I did not have the answer that time, but I did this job because the job market was very tough and dry, and I learned sales for 6 months in that company that I worked with. And I was kind of working in night shifts alone in the entire small office that they had, and making phone calls in US, trying to sell these services and so on. I left that job also in 6 months and came for the third job in Hyderabad. And by the way, within a less time span of about 12-15 months, this was my third job switch. Any HRs listening to me or any company owners would kind of have rejected me because of the kind of switches that I was having, unfortunately, due to the things that were happening in my life. And I stayed there for about 2 years in Hyderabad. Very nice job, nice environment, etc., etc. And all of a sudden one day, in the evening, a phone rang, and this was a couple of our colleagues from the previous organization that I've just left in the night sales job. And they called me and said, would you like to join hand, and let's start a company. And this will be kind of a one third and one third kind of equity. And I said, what will be my salary now, because I was struggling all this while in the 2 years right up from IITs and all. You dream of big salaries and all. They said, we'll probably give you 10-15,000 a month, and we have to start, so we don't have money, but whatever we get, we'll give it to you. And probably a rented house as well, for 5,000. So tough call again. As I said, probably entrepreneurship was still in my mind, but that was my first trance with entrepreneurship. And I said yes to them, that okay, let's do it. Anyhow, I'll get a job. Anyhow, I'm not doing good, uh, you know uh, from where I started. And I then once again for worked for 2 years with them. We did about very good sales in the first 1.5-2 years. And then what happened was that they just asked me to let go. They asked me to leave the organization all of a sudden. And I was out once again on the road. I was out once again on my own. And by this time, about 3.5-4 years have passed out. So I passed out in 2008, and this is 2011-12 now already. I still do not have a established job, good pay to keep my family happy, everything. So there were a lot of family pressure and self pressure building up on me. And I also left them because things didn't work out the way it should have been. I was kind of betrayed on the papers, and I left out. So 2012, it was a very tough year. And now right now in 2022, 10 years, we've changed the fortune. And a lot of things have changed now. Right now, a lot of things have got changed. But if I now look back 10 years ago, I would be kind of looking at it as a very different angle, because 2012, then I started, enough is enough. I need to now incorporate on my own. I cannot keep giving my rest of my life serving somebody else. I've worked as associate, I've worked as senior associate, I've worked as a so-called partner. Nothing was working out. Probably it was not destined to work out that way. So 2012, I registered this company, Signicent. We will be completing 10 years in December this year. And that's before where we are going to a bigger capacity. Right now we have about 90 people employed in our organization, and setting up in multiple cities and so on. So that's how the journey started. And I've been now mentoring a lot of startups. Mentored through TIE as well. So I'm also the joint secretary with TIE Chandigarh. And one of the way we've contributing back to society is that I try and give back time to startups, to encourage people that if I could have, come down to that level where once I thought I'm just not employable, I'm just not getting it, to the stage where I've done something for my family, for my country, for my business or my team. And this is just the beginning, is what I still think we have long way to go. And this is how it started. And so this is how the transaction happened. Now, one of the question I think somebody asked was, how do you manage, billings and all. And so maybe what was your name? Was it Prachi or somebody else? I don't know. So can you tell me your name, who asked me this question, that I just handed over the credit card to my family as I sit in car and do this session? So
I asked you. Sorry for
okay,
interrupting.
Charu asked it.
Charu.
Okay,
Yes.
Charu. Yeah. So Charu asked this wonderful question. So I think no matter what you do, the money will always look less. And when I started off, I remember that it was a very small premises. Maybe we had a 10-seater office, maybe in the living rooms that you may be sitting in, probably size of that. And I think we had, I accumulated about 4-5 lakhs that time somehow due to my part-time jobs and things I was doing at that time. And I started this office. My first people were paid, I hired them, by the way, from the same college from where I graduated. I started paying them 8,000 a month. I don't know why they joined me, because nobody in life now would join me 8,000. I don't know what courage they showed me, what vision. And by the way, I think one of them served for about 8.5 years and with me by the time he just left. So that's how the big relation that we had with our first employee. And the first few sales calls, the first few clients, the first few business model things are very important. And for startups, I think it is very important that you guys should focus on sales more, than, yes, of course, somebody would argue on this, that building a good product, building a good service is very important. I would say yes, it is important, but what is even more important is how it's going to sell them. Because a good product setting, on your kitchen table or on your workshop or on your office will not bring you money. And you have to sell. So the entire 7-8 years, we have dedicated our sales team, that the sales has to be primary focus of the organization. And that's why we bootstrapped all our way. We never raised a round. We never felt actually raising a round. We've self bootstrapped company. And I know right now investment is kind of glamorized a lot. You get a lot of money to invest in, and I'm not against investment also, but we bootstrapped a way which has its own advantage. I mean, I can anytime think of raising funds when I want now. So yeah, so this is how we made. And the sustainability of business model came because, as I said, for bootstrapping it is very important that you have to work within the budgets lines, the revenue that you're getting in the organization, and not with what you want to do. So it's like kind of expanding but within a set horizon each year. And yeah, so the business model was made sustainable because we were selling nicely. As I said, since it is a sustainable model, we were pushing a lot on sales in the initial part of the year, and operations was kind of matching up. So if you've seen the balance, right, that Kiryana stores use, where you put 1 kg and then start putting potatoes on the other side. I always keep that model in my mind, that imagine that for every 1 kg or one salesperson you add in your sales team, let him weigh down and then balance it out with the operation. So sales has to be given more priority. And that's probably the way we've done sustainable model in our organization. So yeah, so that's probably it on how we did it. But I would love, if you have any questions, I would love to answer them, so that I can give away maximum as I could from this discussion. So over to you guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Harit. Uh, Everyone thinks that entrepreneurship is cool, you know. Nowadays, everyone wants to start their own startup. But I'm sure after listening to you, it's pretty clear that it's not an easy path and how much hardship you have to go through. So I think we have a question from Charu. So Charu, please go ahead.
Yeah. Harit, It was such an honest and very nice talk, and your journey was so realistic. I feel very happy that you didn't kind of go. You also went over all the betrayals and all the other problems that you faced, and you didn't just say that, oh, it's all nice and rosy. My question is relating to the jobs that you had left initially. Did leaving these jobs make you feel inadequate because you couldn't find the right fit? That scary? Was it like, I'll never find what I want?
Yeah, I think good question, Charu. So I think no. So I won't say leaving the jobs were scary, because partially I left. At least the second and first I was thrown out because of no business the company had, but I was not at probably fault. The second one, the third one were more by choice, because I made a choice to switch to for better, or switch to other organization, or switch for entrepreneurship, zeal. So I do not think that they made me feel inadequate, or I was not a fit in those organization. Uh, it was just that you should take the risk as early as possible in your life, and I've done that actually in my life. One of the things that I have said in my TEDx talk is as well is that start early and be ruthless, and I'll explain that to you. So when you start early, you have the age numbers by your side, right? Even if you fail, even if you kind of not are able to perform, even if it is a failure and experiment, it's okay. You have the age number in your size. You do not have EMIs at that time. You do not have phone bills of as huge as they may get in the rest of your life. Your car loans coming up, your house loans coming up. So you don't have that obligations. So you should start early. Try and experiment as much as you can, because even if you fail, that's okay. But if you get a good start, so mine, I would say, after 2-3 attempts I got my good start, and from there on I'm trying to invest as much as I could. I'm investing money, I'm investing time, because I know there are competitors in the market that would always be trying to eat the pie that I am trying to set in.
Yeah.
So that's how it is, that you have to start early and be very ruthless about it.
Thank you.
Hi, Harit. As a follow-up to Charu's question, I would like to ask that you have pursued multiple jobs for short span of time because you had a recession, you were laid back. So when you go for interview, like just hypothetically, if you're giving an interview for another company, how will you justify so much of shifts? I mean,
Yes.
they might think that there
Yeah.
is no stability and you switch so many jobs for working for short.
Absolutely right, Shruti. Are you from HR background or
No.
no? Okay. So Shruti, the way I went about it was, I was honest about it, and see, I was honest about it, and I had some logical explanation behind it as well. Today, when I interview people, we've hired, I don't know, about 200 people in the last couple of years. 100 of them are still with us, and 100 left in the last 10 years or so. So when people come up with a reason that is acceptable, that is logical, that is not kind of cheating on face, I think samne wala do trust you, right? They feel like, okay, this guy has a point. And that's how I did it. And probably I'll advise everybody, you need not hide, right? If you're not at fault anyhow, even if you're at fault, join to a company who would accept you at your face value and doesn't want fancy or rosy story to accept you in your team. And just tell them that, okay, this is the past, but this is how I can value add, this is how I can contribute to the organization. So most of the senior leaders that we hire now is less about what they've done, more about how they can contribute to my current structure. And if I think that they in their interview talks about a weakness that my organization already have, I just immediately hire them, because they are covering an aspect that I may not be good at. So I always do something as weakness hiring, where my company needs something that I cannot fulfill nicely. I'll try and hire a good guy there. So that's how it is. I was just being honest, and yeah, somebody would have still rejected me, but that's okay, and I'm glad that they rejected me. or else I wouldn't have been giving an interview to such an esteemed audience today.
And one more question. So, since your company is based out of IP, intellectual rights, so how that idea strike to you that you have to start
Yeah.
step in this domain?
So my first two jobs were in the same area, so I worked in IP area for some time. So right now in fact, the company Signicent that I run today started off as an IP company. In last 2-3 years, it has actually diversified from beyond IP to R&D as well. So we are doing the entire technology and intelligence in the organization now. So just to give you an idea, IP is basically a byproduct of research. That's how I think it. Like if you've done some good research, you can file a patent for it. But research is much bigger area that you would like to work on. And that's what we've done. So we've diversified just not from IP. In fact, we have doubled up our team, and the rest of the half of the team is more of research and development support, much beyond IP. We've also added the financial and business angle because being a CEO, I know what is the importance of numbers in my life. So and I thought the same way. So for example, today you working on electric vehicle, right? And you have 10 different ways to make it. Of course, a research company will tell you what are the 10 ways. An IP company will protect one of those 10 ways. But a CEO would still need commercial value, the cost benighted, or the benefits that he would have following the others, the competition, what they're doing. So we're kind of building up the entire model beyond IP now, and IP is just one of the things that we do.
So your journey was definitely not smooth throughout. So I just want to know that how did you manage to make decisions? What was the process that you still follow to make your decisions?
uh, okay, I'll tell you, Nagesh. uh, Nobody can guarantee, as what I've seen in my life, that decisions that you would take will be right for your organization. Sometimes the decisions that I've taken haven't worked out rightly. But once you believe in a decision that you decided something, give it a good commitment that you would like to make it right. Sometimes people take decision and never follow up on their decision. I think that's more hazardous for any organization. Because if you just take decisions and never follow up with that, that's even more difficult of taking a wrong decision. So I still follow that, and uh, what is also important is that at some point of time you need to let go. And again, taking another point from my TEDx, that the quotation says let go to grow, by which I mean is that all decisions need not to go via a centralized person, in this case me. I need to let go to grow, because if I'm not empowering the right managers, the right the right executive line early in their career, when they grow up with me, they will be making the same mistakes, or they will be more costly decisions that can go against us. So two phases. One is you have to take decisions with as much knowledge as you can, then be committed to make them right. Second is, as you go further in your life, you let others take the decision, streamline them the way you would have taken, and then trust them, and then give them the sufficient bandwidth to make their decision right. So that's the two-phase answer I would suggest to you.
So Harit, I have a question to follow up on that. So from like 2008 to 2012, as you mentioned, it was little difficult for you. So what kept you motivated? I mean, we know we speak about the mental health right now. So it is something which we want to hear, like how you just kept yourself positive, and then, yeah.
Yeah, so if the answer you expect is doing meditation, yoga, no, I was not doing it. If the answer is I listening normal music at the end of the day, I was not doing it. uh, so I think what I did do, so there were two different answers. 2008 and 2010 was an answer that yaar sab doob rahe hain, aap bhi doob loge to kya ho jayega. That kept me motivating, because everybody was laying every second, like right now, every second person you ask had COVID. That time every second person you ask was either getting a salary cut, or was in put to sabbatical for 6 months and things like that. So first 2 years I was like, yeah, grind ho raha hai, sabka ho raha hai. I'm no different. Of course, you sometimes question, मैं ही क्यों भगवान, मैं ही क्यों? But that's okay, yaar. Sometimes you just need to accept things that way it is. And the other important thing was that I had this in the back of my mind that whichever organization that I start working with, I will definitely give justice to them. And for every interview that I gave that time, I said the same thing. And the second part, 2010 to 12, when I was working with this another organization where I joined and then betrayed. That time was, I think, more rough, because that time the market was good. I did work very hard for them, because I was thinking I was working for me as well. And going down that time was very difficult. That was, I think, one of the toughest year that I started off with. uh, I may have got certain depressions and all, but I thought I have to channelize this negative energy that I'm getting into creating something positive, something that I would laugh on after 5 years. And I think I channelized them. I used the competitive spirit that probably I had in my favor, because sometimes you're down, but you do not want to go down. You compete with people. And the next 3-4 years, the motivation channel was more of competitive zeal that I had with me, that somebody cannot just throw me out again and again. I need to prove them wrong. So that's how the two different time had two different stories. Yeah.
Yeah, Harit, I have a so is there one thing that a potential employee can say to you that makes you believe that they will truly take you to new heights?
One thing the employees say to me. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, so one thing is, when my employees tell me that we had a debate at home when my father said you should stay with the organization, but my mother said you should switch the organization, and they still go with one of them and stay with me. One thing, when my employees say that we are standing with you no matter what happens. We are as committed as we are. And I feel very confident. So there are several incidences like this where we have changed policies. The things didn't work out the way we should, but then they still stood up with me. So there are multiple such things, and multiple such aspects that I would say that kind of made me believe that I'm in right path with right people who want me to see grow, and I want them to see grow mutually.
Mm. Yeah, so it feels like there's a lot of loyalty and compassion which is
Absolutely.
involved in your organization.
Absolutely, Charu. So I think in the first few years, and this is a very important learning that I had in my startup. When you're starting up right now, and especially when you do not have invested money, you cannot pay everybody in the high cash, but you can always pay them with high kind. And that's what I've done, right? In the first few years, as I said, my first employees were not nicely paid. Even I know that. But I made sure that they are heard. I made sure that their learnings are never, kept second. I made sure that even if they need me somewhere in some places to adjust to their needs, I did that. And that's how, I think the loyalty is just not from the employee side, it's from employer side also. Not many people understand it. If an employer is loyal to employee, the employee would, in most cases, would become, loyal to the employer as well.
Mhm. Yeah. Thank you. I think there's a very interesting question in the chat box from Rajashri. She
Yeah.
wants to ask, how was the fundraising process initially, and what strategies did you use to market your business?
Yeah, so I think, as I said, in the initial part of my career, we never raised fund. It was bootstrapped with my own money. And uh, uh, there are people who would always take the investment route, but I would still suggest, if you can do it with your own money for at least first 2 years to prove the model, to validate the model, then it becomes less risky for your investor, and then you need to dilute less equity to get and raise the cash. But having said that, in my case, as I said, I'm totally bootstrapped, and yes, due to that, we had always strong sales plan. Because if you're bootstrapped, you need to get in cash from your clients very fast, and that's what we did. And regarding the channels of sales, since it's a B2B business, so we always used to take up the phone calls and used to cold call our clients in US. Some of us still do it, and we used to kind of talk to them. We used to explain them, and then emails were there, the classical way of marketing things. Now there are advanced ways. We have a dedicated digital team, an SEO team, content team. We do conferences. After 2 years, I started traveling a lot. At least we used to do 6 to 7 tours internationally, to meet our clients in Japan, UK, US, the entire Europe, Australia. Name the country, and probably we would have set our foot there. But that only happens once you have some cash flow to invest in such kind of sales channels.
Yeah, Rajshri, if you have any follow-ups, please. Okay, she says yes.
Yeah. Shruti, please go ahead.
My question is, you support so many innovative ideas. So which idea was most innovative out of the box that made you very inspired to support?
Supporting innovative ideas like for our clients, for internally, or how,
Anything.
what idea?
I mean, any idea.
Any idea? Okay, so we are into a business where we work on thousands of ideas every year, maybe more. And due to confidentiality aspect, I cannot probably tell you from the client side that which ideas. But then yes, we worked on AI much before it was out. We worked on sustainability, biomaterials, nanoparticles, green meat, and anything that you now see is fancy. Probably we were working there 5, 7, 8 years ago, already with our clients. So yes, the good thing about the business that we are in is that every idea that you right now sees has a wow factor behind it. And from carbon sequestering to better semiconductor chips to anything. So as I said, there are countless ideas that we work every year, for our client. Every idea is probably very important. Internally, there are a lot of ideas that keep coming in every year. And as an entrepreneur, ideas are like the first giggle of your child. Every idea that you see make you smiles, and you want to kind of get hold of more of it. And I think one of the ways you could grow is to keep working on such ideas and let them flop if they want to. But as I said, we do give them sufficient time. So there are n number of ideas that we have worked internally with our team. Some of them has gone bad, some of them worked beautifully well. So yeah, so there is no one, there are multiple actually in the last 10 years.
And also, how do you, like, since your company is both in US as well as in India, so how do you determine that, like, which market to be captured? I mean, like, how do you get that idea?
So good idea. So I think we want to open in Europe also. We want to open in Asia also. That's our this year's and next year's plan. And we are very clear that the operations as of now would still stay in India. There are two reasons. One, of course, I think India has a lot of talent. Probably they were never shown the direction that they should have been. And that's why we are trying to kind of still work from India. Within India, of course, I love that if I would have immediate offices in South as well, because North we have sufficient and we have headquartered in North, but we want to go to South, and that's also in the plan in the next 6 to 10 months. And for the international offices, it's more sales driven, because your clients are sitting there and you want them to show the presence there. The agreements that you sign with them, they like it because they look like more forcible when you are signed in the geography that your clients are sitting in. So if I have to sign up with an agreement or an MOU with my US client, I would also tell them that, okay, you need not worry about the laws, that it's different country laws in US and India. We are there in US also, so you can put their entity name also. So the US business is still more legal reasons, sales reason, but the operations is still being done in India.
Okay, so Harit, yeah, I have one question related to India, because I know whenever it comes to IP or copyright-based things, the first thing comes to my mind is lots and lots of paperwork, especially when it comes to India. And wherever there is government involved, you have to think about a lot of things. So, in your opinion, how is it improving? Is it better in India as compared to other countries, or India has to come like a long way to get in the level of these companies so that a whole process can be a lot easier for people?
Yes. So Vikram, I think in the last few years, we've seen a lot of change and change for good in India as well. Few years ago, I think it used to take a lot of time. In fact, our own trademark took about maybe 5 years, 5+ years to get granted in India. While the ones that we are now doing for the other businesses are coming up much faster, maybe year and a half. So yes, it is definitely improvising year by year. But if you still compare it with US or Japan or European patent office, there is a long way that we need to travel to be there. So I won't say we cannot be there. It's just that how quickly we will be there. And there is a need. I think everybody is realizing with more startups coming into the picture, especially in the last 2-3 years, with so many unicorns coming into the picture. Of course, these companies will be generating a lot of IP, and to support that ecosystem, IP has to come up. You cannot leave one leg and then make the other important things move. So it will be improvised, but yes, there is still a need, but it will be improvised for sure. I'm hopeful.
Looks like we don't have any more questions. So I would like to ask Shruti to please start the rapid fire questions.
My God, do I get a gift hamper or something like that after it?
We're not
Okay.
coffee with Karan yet. I wish.
Probably it's
Maybe
more
we'll
of
get that kind of funding soon.
yeah. No problem. I was just kidding, and I don't know. I'm not even good at one-word answers unless the questions are very specific. So
No problem. I mean, you can take your time. So, my first question is it a better idea to wait for a opportunity that you like the most, or or is it good to take up the job that comes in your way to have a better job stability?
okay, that's a tricky one. So I would say go for second, and just do not keep waiting. So whatever opportunity you have in hand, go for that while you wait for the opportunity that you would like to achieve. So don't waste time.
Oh, great. Okay. So you pursued, like you still pursue a lot of activities. You're a mentor, you are a speaker, and then you are a traveler. Which one do you like the most?
Okay, so that's a really tough one. I think I love interacting with people, and where I have my role is to help people understand how to make or how to contribute to their growth stories is what I like the most. I enjoy contributing to people's life. So
Okay.
yeah, that's how it is.
Mhm, mhm. Okay. So what advice would you like to give to your 25-year-old self?
Oh, okay. So 2-3 advices actually. One is, there is a whole different world beyond the books. You need to explore that. I never did that. I was probably the studious kind, and I'm not very. So yeah, I'm happy about it. But I could, even if I have given 20% time away from my books, I could have learned much more, because the world, the business is much beyond what you'll be told in the textbooks or in the college books. Second is, I think I would have done networking much better. Well connected is very important in life. You should network with people, especially network with people beyond your comfort zone. So if I'm an engineer, I should network with probably a lawyer. I should network with an IAS. I should probably network with a legal person. I should probably network with, I don't know, website developer or anybody, a sports player. So that is something that I wish I could have done better at when I was 25.
So describe yourself in 3 words.
Oh my God. Can I pass this question? Because I don't know. You can describe me better than I could. So
No,
I
you
think,
can't pass.
uh,
There's no pass.
There is no compromise. So describe myself in 3 words. So one, I'm committed. Whatever I decide to do, I do.
Mhm.
Two, I do have good level of patience. I generally do not shout on people. I absorb a lot of stress. I absorb a lot of heat that is passing in the area around me. Three, probably I would say that I am trying to be a good family person as well, because in the last 10 years I've given a lot to my work and my family has supported me. So third, right now I'm trying to give much time to them also, because they've supported me a lot in this journey.
Mhm. Okay. A last question. So, what is your biggest learning so far, which you would like to implement?
Oh, biggest learning was do not trust people so soon. They may betray you. See, the problem that a lot of good people have is that they see the other people are equally good, and that's probably has happened to me as well, and that's fine. And second important learning I would say is you need to, as I said, learn a lot of things that are beyond your control, and you should be a vivid learner. You never know how the dots can be connected backwards someday. And I really wish I could undo a lot of things that have gone not as it would have, but it's okay, it has happened. You cannot keep spending time regretting things of what has happened. If it cannot be undone, actually, to be honest, you should not spend beyond time to extract out the learnings out of it. We've seen people wherein people are struck, ye kyun hua, wo kyun hua, and they keep sleepless nights, n number of days, weeks, months going into something which cannot be brought back or cannot be undone. So that's what I've learned. I think that you need to go forward, take the learning, and make sure that you do not repeat such things ever.
Mhm. Oh, thank you for answering. It was really great.
Thank you so much, Harit. I think there are not any questions. So for our audience, if you have any more questions, you can please connect with Harit on his LinkedIn account. Once again, thank you so much, Harit, for giving your precious time and for sharing your journey with us. And thank
No,
you
pleasure.
everyone for joining. And we will see you in next session. Thank you.
Yeah,
Sure, sure.
yeah. Thank you, Harit. This was really, really very, very inspirational.
Take care. Bye, everyone.
A network should last a lifetime. Let us help you create lasting professional relationships with our world class mentors through the Biopatrika Industry Mentorship Program. A strategic guidance program unlike no other, full of expert interviews, industry internship opportunities, CV writing, inflection point analysis, life maps, and of course, the gateway to your dream career. For a limited time only, all our services are freely available for you as we truly want you to succeed.